Greetings, geeks, and welcome to a very special bonus edition of The Wizard Files, the podcast where we go behind the scenes with the people who made Wizard Magazine and the comic book professionals who filled its pages. Now, this time around, we have a returning guest with a very exciting project that is available now and is sure to pique your interest. It's former Toy Fair assistant editor and, more importantly, the writer of Palmer's Picks, Tom Palmer Jr. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So this is awesome. Now, we talked to you a while ago. We kind of got the whole overview, but we have something very exciting to understand about your history with Wizard Magazine and what you're doing to keep that alive, because you are launching a physical magazine called The Complete Palmer's Picks. So why don't you give us the Palmer's pitch and tell us what it's all about, how long you've been working on this project? Very interested to hear about it.
Yeah, so I decided to try and get my old stuff back in print, but do it in a different way that it's not just clipping old pages from magazines and pasting them together. So I decided to do kind of like a director's cut version of all the old stuff and fix mistakes and kind of give it like a unified look, and kind of bring it up to speed with brand new introductions. So that's really the focus, is like writing new material to kind of go over the old books that I recommended and see how time has been kind to those, or maybe not so kind to some of them, because a lot has happened in the last 30 something years since I wrote a lot of this stuff. Sometimes, comic creators have gone on to bigger things, and sometimes they've kind of gone off the rails. So it's kind of fun to look back and see what's happened to a lot of those guys that I wrote about back in the day, and see where they've gone since then.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it is something that you were contributing a very unique perspective to Wizard back in the day, because most people think of the hype for the big publishers and, the things that were selling millions of issues. And here you were focusing on the little guys who were doing these very wonderful, creative books and maybe not getting the spotlight. And like you said, a great percentage of them just continued to go on to notoriety. Certainly, you were giving them a spotlight, and certainly their talent has gotten them there. So that is so amazing, yeah, that you could have that perspective from then and now as part of this project.
yeah, it's definitely not something I expected, when I was writing about these comics, because it was just something that I was interested in. It was like I was passionate about these types of comics, and the industry kind of changed since I stopped writing the column, and there's a lot more avenues for comics now in bookstores and libraries, and a lot of the stuff I was writing about, those artists tended to gravitate towards those venues. So a lot of the stuff that you're seeing in bookstores now are the people I was writing about. So it was just kind of neat for that to happen. It was just kind of different, and so I felt it's kind of might be a good idea to go back and look where all the stuff came from and how it was when these people were starting out. It was a lot different for them back then. It was a lot more difficult for them to find their place, where it is a lot easier now. So it's kind of interesting to see, that difference of, kind of have that perspective on things and see how everything has changed since then.
Yeah, it really is a great historical document in that way. And now the question I have is, you've been posting your old Palmer's Picks articles to your website for years, with some
Mhm.
additional commentary, some introductions, a behind the scenes story here and there. So what inspired you to create a physical magazine? And how does the content of the ultimate or the complete Palmer's Picks differ from those previous blog posts?
Yeah, so this is all brand new. I'm not recycling the stuff that was on the website. That's still going to be there, but that's kind of like, I guess, kind of like my first draft in a lot of ways. Um, that was me just getting my ideas out there and getting the stuff up online just to have an archive of it. But here I felt like, you know, it'd be nice just to have a physical thing in your hands. I like having books. I like having comics and magazines. I think a lot of people out there do. And it's gotten a lot easier to do this nowadays. There's a lot of venues to print things and a lot of ways to get things out in the world. It's gotten a lot easier to do that now. So kind of probably something I should have done a while ago, but it just takes a lot of time to get everything squared away and get started up, and just to get motivated to do it. But I finally broke through and was able to start rolling on it, and everything kind of steamrolled since then. So.
Yeah, well, we're glad you did. I
Yeah.
mean, this was shared with us on our Facebook group, and they were just like so excited about it. They're like, did you see this project? This is coming out. Can you believe it? So that it's definitely, getting attention that way. But also, I think the thing that is going to catch most people's eye when they go to, your website to see what's going on there is that you have chosen for this first issue to have an homage to the first issue of Wizard
Okay.
magazine.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I can hold up my my
yeah,
version here. Yeah.
so this is amazing. And so
Yeah.
obviously a caricature of you in the iconic Spider-Man pose. Now you didn't get Todd McFarlane to draw your cover. So who is
No.
the artist?
That's me. Yeah, that was me. Yeah. Yeah, I did that all myself. Had some help. I got my wife and my daughter to help me pose to take a photo to draw from. But yeah, that was all me. Took a lot of work, but it's been a while since I've drawn stuff. But it's one of my other talents. It was
Yeah.
nice
Well,
to kind of stretch that out and get that out in the world.
yeah, that's awesome. You can put it out there. For people who don't know, your dad, Tom Palmer, very prolific inker and comic book
Hmm.
artist in the industry for many years. Now
Right.
we've heard that Adam and Andy Kubert got started very young, inking some of their dad's comic book work and other things like. Did your dad ever recruit you to help him finish an assignment or anything like that?
Uh, the only thing that I was able to do, I would help him erase pages because he liked to clean up when he was done inking, so you'd have to go in and erase the any pencil lines that weren't inked. So I helped him with that, and then sometimes if there was like a really large area of black to fill in, and he didn't have time to do that, he would let me do that, but that was like very rare. And maybe a couple times the zipatone, so the dot patterns, the screens. Sometimes I would help, cut those things. But all the drawing, he prided himself on doing all the drawing himself. He didn't hire assistants. A lot of guys would hire assistants to help with inking, but he always liked to do all that stuff himself. So yeah.
Well, it's awesome, yeah, that you've been able to contribute this to your first cover. Now, the question we have is also that is this going to be ongoing? There's going to be multiple issues, right? So what are
Yeah.
you going to be doing for those covers? Do you have more ideas in mind already?
I have a couple other ideas. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I have an idea that I was going to do for the first issue. But then I just had the brainstorm was like the idea of just doing the parody of the first issue of Wizards. So I was like, oh, it makes sense to do that on the first issue of my magazine. So what I was going to do for originally my original idea for the first issue, I'm going to do that for the second issue. So that'll be a nice surprise.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be fun to see. Now, the other question I have, just going back to, the fact that you were reaching out to a lot of people in the early days of their career and they, have certainly grown in notoriety and things like that. In your interviews or in your, preparations for perspective, do you still have people that you're in touch with that you were able to get their perspective? Are there any like quotes or anything like that? Or is it more from what
Uh,
you've gleaned from what they've done over the years?
yeah, it's all I've written all the stuff myself. Haven't done any new interviews. It
Okay.
might be something I might do later on. Because the original the first maybe year or two of Palmer's Picks, I didn't do any interviews. It
Hmm.
was all just written by myself, and I didn't start doing interviews until later in the column. So maybe that might be something I might do later. As I do the rest of these.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was kind of the other question that I had. So what is the ultimate goal? Is it ultimately to reprint the pre-existing ones with the new perspective? Do you think you would expand outside there and start doing a new exploration of current indie comic book titles, or is this more just an archive?
yeah, I think the plan is to focus on this right now, and then see how much of this takes up, and you know, if this goes over well, then I might continue and do new stuff. But I
Okay.
have some ideas. I have some ideas of what to do. So
Oh, that's good. Yes, I mean
yeah,
we got to
it'd be
get
fun
out there
to.
and support it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
the other thing that's going on your website right now is there's the first issue that you held up there, but there's
Hmm.
also a number zero issue
Right.
that can be
Yeah.
bought in a bundle with that.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
what
Yes.
is going on inside the zero issue?
So yeah, the zero issue is like kind of like leftover stuff. There's an article I wrote that Wizard ended up not using for a collecting comic special that they did. So that's in there. And then there's a couple fanzines that were done for the Cartoonist Kayfabe YouTube channel. So I wrote some new stuff for that. for those fanzines. So I put those new Palmer's picks in there also. So
Hey,
yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
yeah, then the cover is a drawing my dad did that they ended up not using in Wizard back in the day. So I've actually able to finally show that off and use it as a cover here. So yeah, it was like perfect. I found it like I ended up finding it just by happenstance. I was going through some files and I found the original art. I was like, oh wow, this is perfect. Like, yeah.
That's good. Now, speaking of that, what has been the most exciting part for you of putting this whole, magazine together, finding these bits and pieces? Like, what has gotten you the most enthusiastic to keep it going now?
Yeah, I think it's just the ability of like doing all of it myself. Having to do like all the writing, all the design, which is kind of fun to do. Just laying everything out and getting it out there and putting it all together. I think I really enjoy just all the aspects of it. Of like, you know, you finish something, the writing part of it, and then you have to kind of change gears and figure out how to put it on a page and how to make it look interesting and how to get visuals on that page to go with it and make it like a complete package. And then you have to change your gears again and do the artwork for the cover. And then when you're finished drawing that, then you have to color it and then do the layout for the text on the cover. It's just kind of neat just to switch around and do different things and not have to just do one thing and then have someone else do all the work. So I really enjoy that part of it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Some people
Yeah,
might just consider that grunt work. They're like, oh, let somebody else do that. And here you are. You're like, ooh, the excitement of it all.
yeah, yeah.
Where can people pre-order the complete Palmer's picks and the number zero issue? And when can they expect delivery on that final product at this point? What's the timeline for everything in your mind?
Yeah, so we have pre-orders are up on palmerspicks.com and you go there and it's right on the homepage, all the info, all the ordering links and everything is all right there. And we're looking to get the print run finalized fairly soon and hopefully have the printed copies in my hands in middle of March and I'll start shipping them out shortly after that.
Oh, exciting. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this is great. Now, are you thinking, I don't know how much of a convention guy you are, but are you going to maybe be out there and walking the floors or having a table or where can people find
We'll
you?
see. Yeah, we'll see if it happens. There's a couple shows that I go to, when I get a chance to, and we'll see if we can work something out with them. And yeah, maybe something
Okay.
local to start with, and then branch out from there.
Well, I mean, all the Wizard magazine fans that we hear from constantly, hey, when are they bringing Wizard back? When are we going to get another Wizard magazine? I wish they were still publishing. Well, here's a little piece of it coming back into your hands, guys. So here's your opportunity to grab it and support Tom's project here. I mean, again, it's so exciting. The minute you hear about it, you're like, yes, of course, I want this again. So that is wonderful. Thank you so much also just for putting it out there, for putting the time in. We're glad it's a
Yeah,
passion project, but a passion for the rest of us too.
oh, that's good. That's great to hear. Yeah.
All right. Well, and if people want to just follow you and find you online to get all the updates as well, where can they get in contact with you?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, just look me up. Look me up there. It's Palmer's_picks on Instagram, and just look for Tom Palmer Jr. on Facebook. Yeah.
All right, get out there, geeks, and make sure you get your hands on a copy of the complete Palmer's picks. Or, hey, if you want a little something extra, grab that number zero issue. Get all those lost pieces, right, being brought back together. So that's awesome. All right, thank you again, Tom. It was awesome talking
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.